back on site. We got 3/4 inch copper water line to install to city public water. There's our curb stop right there, the box. Dig down to that, hook in, go down to the foundation, put it in, 4 foot minimum. Here in New York, got the Komatsu PC35 MR-5. It's always a good practice when you're backfilling to put wood up. I usually leave it up here so you can just follow the wood down, but I only had short pieces. But we made it to the wood. Now we know we're there. There's the pin. Well, we knew that was gonna happen. Cave in, sand. Hopefully when we get to virgin ground it will stop. I won't be able to get back in the hole with this mini. I have to take so much out. And with the inspection you gotta have the hole open. Otherwise I just stuff the copper in there now. We got the curb box exposed. Gonna clean it up, expose it more. Big scoop right before the curb box and then you cave it all in. That way you're not hitting that. It's all in copper. Some cities are running plastic and you don't want to hit it or lift it or jack it. And if you're in sand you can do that. If it's obviously hard pan, it's a lot harder digging, but we're down to it. Let's get down to the hole and take a peek. All right, there's our hole. Just cave it in like this. Make sure you dig around this so you can get this back up plumb once it's time. Pack this all in. You don't want to get under here and jack that with the teeth. You really mess things up. The more room you got, the better. You don't want to be hands and knees and get cave-ins, but this was just installed. So this is all blacktop in here and everything when they cut the road. So it's kind of holding and I don't really want to disturb it. So we're just gonna sneak this in real quick. See what we got. This comes right off now. And this is, if this is too low in your yard or too high and you don't want to mow it, just tap down on this with a sledgehammer. This is adjustable. See how it goes up and down? But when we go to put this in, I'll show you how to put this in. It's dark in here. I know the cameras don't pick up good stuff in dark. So they installed this good. They got a rock under here, which that's what you want. Put a flat rock underneath. And they covered me up with a do-rag. Let's get this off. Bring it on up. Like so. Set it there. And when we go to install this doghouse here, you want to make sure this is covering your, like this. And then right here is your water line going out. You got to cover it. So this goes over it. It's like a little helmet where it will go like this. Which I've showed this in many videos. If you guys go in my playlist, I don't know if I got playlist of utilities. I'll have to look at all that. But there we go. You got a nice set of a rock. Because there's no rocks on site, they put a nice little stone there. Very important, 2 crescent wrenches. Always use 2, because what happens when you go to tighten this up, you're going to spin the backside. You got to put it on the backside. And like I said in other videos, I show these parts right out because I have multiple ones. But this has a cotter pin in it. And we're going to just test the water first to make sure she's even on before we even do anything. Because you want to clean your parts anyway. Yeah, we got water. Turn it off. And then this should be hand tight. Yep. And there is our compression fitting, and our copper tube goes in this way. Okay, onto the tube. Put this on. Put the copper tube into the hole, which is that hole right there. Copper tube's going in there. Then this goes on there, and I'll show you that in 2 minutes. Just let me get my parts cleaned up. You don't want sand in the fittings or on the gasket. Just don't go unraveling all this. This goes nice and easy. You're gonna put this in, and then you're gonna roll it out like a wheel. Now we know we got water on. I'm just gonna clean my parts with some water. We gotta be able to get a wrench back here on that right there, see? So you're gonna have a wrench. You're gonna take 2 wrenches, you're gonna put one here and one here to tighten, all right? And you're gonna hold this one. Because what happens is on the back side of this is the same thing. There's a spot for a wrench and then another nut going that way, and you'll loosen this nut if you don't do it that way. Very important, if you're using CTS plastic line 3/4, which we do a lot, you have to put a crush fitting inside the line before you put this on. With copper, this doesn't, because the copper is not going to crush. Now remember, this goes a certain direction, so you can screw that on. Just going to open this up. We don't want to kink it. We're just going to open it. And this is gasket. You see this, watch this. You could lose this by fumbling or doing whatever and not even know it. But there's a gasket in there, okay? And what I like to do, and I know it is what it is, but I put the gasket, there's writing on it, I put the gasket with the writing facing in, not along this, because then it could leak. Sometimes the writing causes leaks. I don't know, just my theory. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna rotate this till it's pretty flat, because if this is at an angle going up, you'll never get that thread. It's tough with copper. So you wanna make sure you're coming in pretty true without kinking it. Do is roll this out a little. Give me some room. Lower this down. Like I said, get it as flat as you can. Make sure the threads are facing out. Make sure that gasket stays in there. You can just make sure it's in there like that. And then you're good to go inside. Take a little water lubes one last time. Hey, see what I'm saying? Put that right in. You can hear it bottom out, and you see how it's cocked. So you just want to take your copper, straighten it out like that. So make life a lot easier when you go to put this on. And you'll know when this goes on. Just wiggle it, wiggle it. There she goes. She'll start. All right, let's get the wrenches. All right, put your wrench against the bank like that if you can. That will hold it so you don't have to hold it with the other hand. Gonna go right until she gets snug. She does have a gasket, so you don't have to go till you break it. You'll know when it's tight, especially if you're in plastic. This should be able to go right in. See, we're hitting the bottom of the, there we go. If you lift up on it, you can spin it most of the way with your hand. It was just hitting the rock they got there. We'll snug this up to give it 2 ugga-duggas, and we'll test the water, blow out the copper line. Now you see, if you didn't have that wrench on there, you see how this is moving? You're turning that other side, so you got to put 2 hands on it and go with it. And that's the whole purpose of the double wrench. Pretty good. There's 1 ugga-dugga. Let's get another one. Come on, baby, get tight. Right there. Nice and nice. All right, just go on here. Turn it to the left. There she is. Shut her back off. Now we're just gonna roll this out nice and flat and easy. Slow. It's not a race. Keep your ladder in the hole if you need it. Put your foot on it together. All right, same process here. Kind of do a straighten out. I had to clean the cutout or the sleeve in the bottom there. Slide this forward. You don't want to kink this pipe. I got it rigged up there so I could put this where it had to be. Sliding in the house, good couple feet until she gets tight down there. All right, lastly, on the outside, we got to put some water plug, and in the inside also. Pack that right in there. This stuff, very little water you put in it. It is hydraulic cement. Get right at your hardware store. Water stop cement. Get it in as deep as you can there. Wiggle the pipe and then go in the inside. This stuff dries super fast, so you don't have much time to play around. Wiggle your pipe to get it on the bottom. It's non-shrinking. Pack it right in there. All right, we're all installed, just waiting on inspection. Once inspection comes here and passes, we'll throw this back on, this doghouse, line it up, pad this line with a little dirt just so it don't move left or right, and be good to go for backfill. All right, I passed the exam. There's my approval. I'm just gonna throw some sand on each side of that line just to keep it from swashing back and forth, because when you throw this sand down in there, it will move it. So let's just pin it nice and tight. All right, all padded up. Just gonna take this and set that box, that doghouse back in. Goes over, make sure that goes in the hole. keyway. You gotta get it in there. And then the doghouse is like a U. It's gotta go over that to protect that. See how that's like that? And then you wanna plumb this up so it's straight. They don't have it, well, they got it pretty plumb. So this pipe slides in and out of this pipe, okay? So you can lower this down to the grade, but make sure that doghouse is sitting on that stone that they put there. That protects everything from crushing. In case someone runs this over, it doesn't crush that valve. But just tap this, leave it about 6-8 inches for now. Hold this up nice and plumb. Get yourself some material, pack it in. So it stays there. Good. Now you're ready for backfill. All right. Just back from lunch. Everything is ready to go. I'm just gonna put a little dirt here just to pack that in a little more before we go gun-ho on the backfill. Just grading off with the 35 real quick. Blade nail, I'll have the skid steer here. We got a raised grade on this site anyways, and when I do the store line, I'll have a lot more material to be moving. The store line is big, 6-inch SDR 26 heavy wall, so don't forget to stay tuned to miss. You don't want to miss that video. That'll be coming up. I might do that tomorrow here. But I'm going to create a playlist, a utility playlist, and start putting water lines and sewer lines in there. I already have the playlist for the septic lines and you know, the leach fields and whatnot. But I think it's time to put a playlist for that.